Okay, greetings one and all, and welcome to day number 4. Yes, day number 4, week 6, fall 2024 of our journey together, and it's definitely a delight to have each and every one of you here for this evening's classes. Let's begin. My name is Mr. Petit. The topic, well, the subject is of course mathematics. We always begin with maths every day. Subject is mathematics. The topic is, we're going to be looking at rotations and revolutions. Rotations and revolutions. All right, so when we talk about a rotation, what sort of rotations are you familiar with? Like in terms of like the direction? How can I?
Clockwise.
It could be clockwise, or it could be what? Or it could be
Anti-clockwise.
Or it could be anti-clockwise, or some person say counter-clockwise. Now, when we think about rotation, like what comes to mind when you had a rotation?
A circle.
Not a spin.
Circle.
A full circle.
Revolution.
Yeah.
360.
360 degrees.
360.
Yeah, so you're looking at a complete turn, right? And by the way, when persons say, oh, this person made a, no, they have like that, their testimony, and they say, oh, this person made a 360-degree turn. Well, the problem with that is that if you make a 360-degree turn, you end up in the same place, right? That's 360. So it's better to say, at least mathematically correct to say, that if a person has changed their life around, what they actually did is they actually made a 180. What actually happened is, let me actually do this right. What actually happened is that they made a 180 turn, not a 360 turn. Because if 180 means that you was heading in this direction, but then you've gone in this direction, so 180. Because if you make a 360-degree turn, that means that you are right back to where you like started. Anyway, that's besides the point. 360 is a complete turn, a full revolution. All right. So that's what we be dealing with today: revolutions and rotations. And we're going to be looking at how we can answer questions with that understanding and how they fit within our general understanding of the world, and also with answering these questions that they give us. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to define and differentiate what we mean by clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation. And I want you to write down this first line, and it says that clockwise and anti-clockwise are ways of indicating the direction of a turn. So that's the first line I want you to write. So when we talk about the rotations, we're actually talking about like what direction it's going. So clockwise would be going in the direction of a what? Going in the direction of what?
A clock.
The hands of a clock, right? And if you know how a clock moves, you know which direction it goes, right? It goes and it goes in a particular direction. That's clockwise, right? And anti-clockwise obviously would be the opposite direction. And so let me put this on this side. Leave space on one side so you could draw this, because I want you to draw like the different ones. So let me just show you. So yeah, so draw these two different directions. The first one is clockwise. That's the one on the left. As you can see, from the top, moving to the right, this is clockwise. This is following the direction that the clock, the hands of the clock move, right? And I know we have certain persons who have digital clocks, and you know, you don't really, anyone can actually read a clock, like a real clock. You could actually read it.
Yes, sir.
I can.
No, sir.
No, you can't read it.
For watch count? For watch.
Yes. The longer one is the seconds or minutes. And the shorter one is the hour.
The hours, okay. So you have some persons who wear a watch and they can't read time. So I'm like, why, what's the, you know, anyway. At any rate, we're looking at the direction. So draw this, please. The clockwise direction is going to be this way, in this direction. And then anti-clockwise or counterclockwise is in the opposite direction. That makes sense? That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so let's actually put it into words. So make sure I write this on the side. I mean, draw this on the side. It don't have to be like fancy. All right, Miss Morris, it don't have to be fancy, but it just have to be, you know.
Oh man.
It just have to be okay enough. All right. Okay, so this next one, I want you to write this down too. Clockwise direction is the same direction of the hands. See, it's the same direction that the hands of a clock move, and anti-clockwise direction is the opposite direction to which the hands of a clock move. So I want you to write that down for me, so we get the actual definition. Go ahead, Shekinah, can you read these first two?
Clockwise and anti-clockwise are ways of indicating the direction of a turn. Clockwise direction is the same direction the hands of a clock move. Anti-clockwise direction is the opposite direction to which the hands of a clock move.
Thank you, Shekinah. Where's Carrington? Carrington, are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
Everyone should be writing this down, not only Carrington. Andrea Barnaby, are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
Good. Amaya, can you tell me the difference between clockwise and anti-clockwise direction from what we discussed so far? What's the difference?
Clockwise is the direction that the hands on the clock move, and anti-clockwise are the opposite direction.
It's the opposite direction, right? So without this chart, can y'all like draw the arrows like without the chart in front of you? You know how to draw the arrows? Like you know, like which ones?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see in short order. All right, so that's those two directions. Now, oopsies. I don't know if y'all can see my screen still. I hope my screen is still sharing. Okay, good. All right. What is another way to say anti-clockwise? What's another way of saying anti-clockwise?
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise, right? That's another way. Right? So that's another way. So we could say that anti-clockwise direction. So write this third point down. Anti-clockwise direction is also known as counterclockwise direction. All right. So that's counterclockwise direction. Where's Rudy?
Good afternoon, Mr. Padilla. I'm here.
Okay. Are you writing the notes down for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Antoine, are you writing the notes down?
Yes, sir.
And Dior, are you writing these notes down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Malaya Major, are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And where's Sashanik?
I'm here, sir.
Can you read this for us, please? The 3 points.
Sure. Clockwise and anti-clockwise are ways of indicating the direction of a turn. Clockwise direction is the same direction the hands of a clock move. Anti-clockwise direction is the opposite direction to which the hands of a clock move. Anti-clockwise direction is also known as counterclockwise direction.
Good. So, Samaya, what's another way of saying anti-clockwise?
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. And Ronald, how do you know which way is clockwise? How do you know which way is clockwise, Ronald? Where's Ronald?
Mr. Petit,
Yes.
I have a question.
Is this Ronald?
No, sir.
Who's this?
I'm new here.
Yeah.
What are these classes? What are these math classes about?
Are you okay? I don't know who is. Yeah, I don't know that one. Yeah, I don't know who he is. Bye bye. See you later. Charlton Ake, where's Charlton Ake? Where's Charlton Ake? Charlton Ake, can you hear me? Charlton Ake, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. How would you know? How would you know clockwise direction?
It's the same direction as the clock's hand.
The hands of the clock. Very good. Okay, are we done with the slide? Because I want to move this one.
No, sir, I just came.
What's up? No, sir.
No, sir.
Ah, quickly, take a picture of this. By the way, let me see if the chat is enabled. Let me check that. Okay. Please put I in the chat to indicate that you're present, so I could know. Again, put I inside the chat to indicate that you're present. Anyone who's finished writing this down, because I want to move.
I'm done. Yes, sir, I'm finished.
I'm done.
Okay.
No, sir.
The rest of you who are writing, take a picture. The best thing to do is take a picture of this. And that's the best thing to do. Take a picture of this and take a picture of this and put it and screenshot it so that you can have it, because we're gonna move on to the next slide. All right. Or maybe I just could put the rest on the other side, just so that everyone would be on the same page. I don't have to like move it. That might be helpful instead of, you know. So I'm gonna have to move the image. All right. I'm just gonna put the rest of the notes on the other side. So let me just move this. So the next one I want to talk about is rotation. So let me put this here. So we're going to talk about rotations on this side. Let me underline this. All right, good. All right, so when we talk about rotation, a full rotation is how many degrees? So let's write that down. Please make sure that your mic is muted. You don't want to, you know, have the nice babies crying. All right, so a full revolution in math is what we call a complete rotation or a complete turn, right? Just write that down. Let me put this on this side. You can see it now. So a revolution, let me put this down. Let me make this like right. So a revolution in math is a full rotation or a complete, how many degrees? 360-degree turn. In a 360-degree rotation, the object starts and ends in the same position. That's exactly what I was trying to say initially. So if you have a 360-degree rotation, right where you start is right where you end, right? Like the starting position and the ending position are identical. So if you say you made a change in your life and it's a 360-degree change, the problem with that is, well, you know, you starting and ending at the same point, so it's not really a change. But how do we do it? Like, how can we show this 360-degree rotation? Well, you do it like this. So if you look at the 360-degree rotation, Like, let me give you the starting point. So let's say the starting point is here, right? And then we move up, we move up, we move up, we move up. How many degrees is this when I'm here?
90.
That's
90 degrees.
That's 90 degrees so far. So that's 90. And then we move again, and then again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And how many
180.
degrees? That's gonna be what?
180.
180. Let me see if you're all smart. And then, so this is 180, right? And then I go on and go on and go on and go on and go on again. How many degrees is this?
260.
270.
Two what?
70.
260.
260.
Two what?
260.
Two what?
270.
Two what?
270.
270. 270. How do you get 270?
You are 180
390.
plus 90.
I did a 90. So 180 plus 90, right? And then we go on all the way here again. And then we are at what?
360.
360. So this is,
Sorry to interrupt, right? But how I see it right now, right, is like subtracting the 9 go down by 1.
Oh, you mean like if you're going backwards? What you mean?
Like you see how the 9 and it changed.
Okay. Okay. So basically in each case we add 90. So this is 90, and then 90 plus 90 is 180, and then 180 plus 180 plus 90 is 270, and 270 plus 90 is 360. So it's a full turn. This is a full what? What do we call this? A full, start with R. A full what?
Rotation?
Rotation.
No, not rotation. I mean, you can say rotation.
Revolution.
A full revolution. Revolution. Full.
Mr. Petit, revolutions and rotations is the same day?
They are, but I wanted revolution, right? So 1 revolution is equal to what? 360 degrees. I want y'all to remember that. 1 revolution is 360 degrees. Always remember that.
Mr.
Okay.
Petit, do we go up?
Yes, you draw this image at the bottom. Okay. All right, what else we need to know about rotations and revolutions? Okay, another thing that you need to know. 1 complete turn or a rotation of 360 degrees is known as a revolution. I don't know if I said that before. Yeah, I said that. A revolution in math is 3. Yeah, so that's the same thing. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing that you need to know. What is half of a revolution?
180 degrees.
So half of a revolution, I can write that now. So we could say half of a revolution is what? 180 degrees, because that's half of 360, right? Y'all understand that?
Yes,
or no?
sir.
Okay. Now, what if we have 1/4 of a revolution? What is that in terms of degrees? That's gonna be what?
90 degrees.
90 degrees. So that's very important. That's what I want you to know. 1/4 of a revolution is 90 degrees. And so let me go ahead and explain that now, how we got that. So let's go ahead. So again, we are making the claim that 1 full revolution is what? The full thing is what?
360.
360.
Degrees.
360 degrees. It's like a full circle, right? And we know that angles in a circle add up to what? Angles in a circle add up to what? 360 degrees. 360 degrees. So it's a full revolution, or it's a full complete 360 degrees, right? But half of this revolution is what? Half of this revolution?
180.
180.
180. Half a revolution is 180. And a fourth of the revolution is what? A fourth of the revolution is what?
90 degrees.
90. That's very important. So half of it is 180. That's just like half the circle. But it's kind of like what we did yesterday, right? A quarter of the circle. The quarter of it is a quarter of the circle is 90 degrees. So if we would just do like a quarter of it, like maybe a darker color. So a quarter of it is 90 degrees. Does that make sense? So a quarter of it is 90 degrees. That makes sense to y'all?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Good. If you're already taking this down, take a picture, right? Take a picture of it and send it to me via WhatsApp. For those of you who already written this down, take a picture of it and send it to me via WhatsApp. This is our first slide before we get into actual answering questions on these stuff. Again, if you're finished with this, take a picture of it and send it to me via WhatsApp. Nika Rule, are you writing this down? Where's Nika?
Yes, sir.
Are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Malaya Delaveau, are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
That's good. Where's Jervin Smith? Jervin, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. One thing I have to say, sorry for missing class yesterday, and that took them 2 days because my phone was dead for 2 days. I just got a charger today.
So that means that you have a lot of work to catch up on.
That's all.
Okay. But I'm glad you came in class today, and okay, let's start with this work, and then the ones that you miss, I will call you this evening for you to get them.
Okay, thank you.
And it's not okay, Jervin. You know
Sorry,
better than
very
that.
sorry.
Yelisha Edgecombe, are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Tony Cooper, are you writing this down?
Yes, sir. I sent it to you.
You sent it to me already?
Yes, sir.
Where's Ren?
Okay.
Yes, Joel?
Draw the diagram.
Yes, draw the diagram.
Yes, sir.
Romanika Reed, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
That's good. The rest of you, are y'all finished with this? Because we have to move on to the next slide.
Yes, sir. I sent you my work.
Yes, sir. I sent you my work.
That's good.
Those are
Who's still writing? If you're still writing, because we're about to move this, what you need to do is you need to take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of it and then do it like that because we are. Please make sure, I cannot emphasize enough. Please make sure that your mic is muted. You do not want to embarrass yourself on live television. Ms. Cash, are you writing this down?
Yes, sir. I just sent you the work, Mr. McKee.
Okay, how about Jake Grayson? How about Grayson? Where's Grayson?
Yes, sir. I'm finished.
Okay, Stanley, where's Stanley? Yeah, you keep on unmuting your mic. What's happening?
I don't know. It's glitching on me.
Yeah, behind your whole conversation, or the conversation of everyone in the box. All right.
I tried me.
Yeah. All right. Are we done with this? Can I move this? Are we done?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so I think, so quick recap. What do we mean by clockwise rotation? That's gonna be what?
Direction is the same direction the hand of a clock move.
Very good. And anti-clockwise is gonna be what?
The opposite
Opposite
direction. The
direction
hands of a
to
clock
which
move.
the hand of a clock move.
Very good. One full revolution is in terms of degrees. How many degrees?
360.
360
degrees.
360 degrees. And a half of a revolution is what?
180 degrees.
180 degrees. And a fourth of a revolution is what?
90 degrees.
90 degrees. 90 degrees. Okay, so I think we're ready for these questions. All right, let's move on. So for this one, I want you to obviously write it down in your book, but I want you to try to answer it and put your answer inside the chat. Don't say what you think the answer is, just put the answer inside the chat, okay? Put your answer inside the chat, please. The chat is open. Obviously, you're writing this down. This is the first example. You're writing this down inside of your book. But I want you to put your answer inside the chat. It says, Pamela is facing west. She turns anti-clockwise for 3/4 of a revolution. In which direction is she now facing? Put your answer inside the chat for me, please. Pamela is facing west. You're writing this down as well in your book. You're writing this down in your book.
Mr. Batista, I only could draw a figure.
Yeah, you don't have to draw, Miss Pamela. Pamela is facing west. She turns anti-clockwise for 3/4 of a revolution. In which direction is she now facing? All right, it's in which direction is she now facing? Put your answer inside the chat, please. Put your answer inside the chat. There are different answers. I see Ethan says south. And Anishka says northeast. You say northeast, Anishka?
Yes, northeast.
Northeast. Patrick says west. Genesis says eastern. Isaiah, what does M mean? I don't know what M means. Or N. Okay, north. Jemiah said, why you she anti-clockwise? Do you all know what anti-clockwise mean? Do we know what anti-clockwise mean? Hello?
Backwards from the
Yes,
clock.
What does anti-clockwise mean?
Going backwards from the regular clock.
Yeah, going in the opposite direction, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you a chance to say your answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say your answer.
East. Facing north.
South.
East.
East.
She's
Okay.
facing north.
It's
North.
Northeast.
Northeast. Okay, cool. All right. How many persons do not know? You're like, I don't know. How many persons like, I don't know. I don't know the answer. They given answers, but I don't know what the right answer is.
I know the answer.
Antoine. For
so-
once,
no clue.
one time. Wow, this is a first.
Mr. Petit, she's
North.
facing north.
I think it's north.
You think it's north?
I think it's northwest. I mean southwest.
You think it's southwest? Okay, southwest.
Mr. Petit,
Uh-huh.
I think
So
in my head, I
it's
trying to
east.
figure out why
It's north.
Palmer don't stay one direction.
All right, write this down for me inside of your book. Okay, so here we have the compass and here we have the cardinal points. Obviously, this is never ever smoke weed. And so she's at W, right? She's at west. So that means that she's gonna move anti-clockwise. That means that she's gonna go in this direction, right? In this direction, isn't it? Now, this direction is 1/4 of a revolution because we already said that that's 90 degrees. But we want what? 3/4 of a revolution. So how many more times we have to move over?
That's north.
3 times.
3 times, right?
Guys.
So she moved from west to south, and then she goes from south to east, another 1/4 of a revolution.
Mhm.
And then she goes one
The
more,
north.
I thought you said she was north.
and then she
north.
and then she lands on
North.
north. That
North.
means that she is facing what?
North.
She's
I
facing
tell you
north
all,
now.
I
She's
was
facing
right.
north.
She's facing north.
She's facing
I thought
north
she was
now.
north. I feel dumb.
I
Facing
missed the
north.
beginning of it because I thought she was at north. I never
thought
noticed she was at west.
She's
yeah,
at
I
west.
didn't notice it either.
She's right there.
I counted north instead of west first.
Yeah, like Pamela is literally right, like she's right, like this is
I was
west,
in-
and she's right there.
I thought she just was there. The space in the
But if it
corner.
was
Oh,
the
okay.
other way around, it was gonna be west, south.
All right, do we understand how we got north? Let me know if you understand how we got north.
Yes, sir.
Now that you plan those sheets on that, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mr. T,
Uh-huh.
I agree with the gentleman. Pamela need to keep still.
Okay.
Mr. Petit,
Yes, go ahead.
the amount of times I seen this question, I don't know the answer when you show me the girl.
Ah, okay. That's good. Okay, next. Okay. So we know, wait one moment. Have y'all written this down? I don't want to move it and y'all haven't written this down yet.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No,
All
sir.
right.
I haven't.
Where's Joseph? Can you hear me? Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know this BJC or BG.
Mr. Petit, I can't hear you.
I think he disconnect.
He probably glitched.
I think he disconnected.
He's muted. He's muted.
I'm right. Hey, hello. I'm right here. I just mute my mic for 2 seconds. Polly. I received a call. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Are we done with this? Are we done
Yes,
with
sir.
this? You good? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. Amari, where's Amari? Amari Penniman. Where's Amari? Amari Penniman, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Have you written this down yet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And Alex Delaveau, have you written this down? Where's Alex?
sir.
Okay, and Delvon Sands, have you written this down?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Philia Cooper, have you written this down?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. You understand how we got our answer?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Kimberly? You written this down? Let me know if you understand how we got how we got the answer.
Yes, sir.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Ramon, you understand how we got this? I think Ramon just arrived.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so let's do another one.
Excuse me, Miss Petit, you to call me?
No, I didn't call you. No. All right, let's do another one. Please do not get this wrong. Example number 2. I need a reader.
Write this down.
Go ahead.
Mr. Petit,
Go
I
ahead,
can't really
Sashini.
see the.
Mr. Petit, you want us to write this too?
Write down example number 2. Write down example number 2. Go ahead, Shekinah, read this for me, please.
Suzanne is facing south. She turns anti-clockwise for 3/4. 3/4 of a revolution. In which direction is she facing? Is she now facing?
Put your hands inside the chat for me, please. She is now south. She turns anti-clockwise for 3/4 of a revolution. In which direction is she now facing? Okay, in which direction is she now facing? Put your hands inside the chat for me.
Mr. Petit, I can't really see the question.
You can't see the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how about now? Can you see it?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I see
That's
it.
kind of not good. I gotta keep it like this.
I see it now. Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Petit, I think you just showed the answers.
The answers.
No, I didn't.
just-
I didn't. I didn't.
I saw the answer, but I already got it, so it's fine.
No, I didn't put no answer.
You already put answer.
Y'all didn't see no answer. Y'all seeing things. Okay, what do y'all have for this one?
West.
I get west.
West?
West. Oh.
Okay, so how do we know it's west? Well, she's at south, right? She's now at south.
Yes, sir.
But she's moving anti-clockwise, first of all, and it's gonna be 3/4 of a revolution. So it's gonna be 1, then it's gonna be what? 2, and then it's gonna be what? 3. So it's gonna be, so that means that, one moment. That means that she's now facing west. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Quickly write this down. That's gonna be the last exam that you have to write down. The other ones, we're just gonna do, we're just gonna do from the chat. So write this down. It's gonna be the last one. Show the write down.
Mr. Petit.
Go ahead, Antoine.
Can you look at my answer?
Yes, that's correct.
Mr. Petit.
Go ahead, Paris.
This I don't understand this.
You don't understand this? Okay.
No,
All
sir.
right. That's because you just arrived. So
Yes, sir.
what happened is Pamela, she's not, no, this is Suzanne now. So Suzanne is now, she's at west, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, not west. She's facing, she's south, right? But then she moved 3/4 of a revolution. So 3/4 of a revolution, but it's a anti-clockwise. So what does that mean? That means that we're gonna go in this direction 3 times because it's a 3/4 of a revolution. It's gonna go 1, we're gonna do it again, right? And then we're gonna do it 1 more time. And so now she's currently facing what?
West.
West. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, do you all have this written down? Let me know, please.
No,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
I'm studying mine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Those are only 2 that I want you to actually write.
I take a screenshot.
That's no problem. Those are only 2 that I want you to actually write. So take a picture of them and send them to me. The other ones we're gonna do, I think I'm only gonna do 1 or 2 more. The other ones we're gonna do just by looking at it together. All right. And then we're gonna do a quiz on this. All right. Debria DeVoe, are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
How about Alandra Parker? Are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
And Jaden Branchador, are you writing this down?
Yeah, sir.
That's good. And Kalia Forbes, are you writing this down?
Excuse me, Mr. Petit, could you go back to the first example so I can get a screenshot, please?
I can. How about you,
Thank you.
Lavender? Lavender, where's Lavender?
Yes, sir.
Are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
Rashawn Cartwright, are you writing this down? Where's Rashawn Cartwright? Rashawn Cartwright, can you hear me? I can't hear from Rashawn. Rashawn Cartwright, can you hear me? She might be dealing with internet connection. All right, Tyreek Williams, do you have this written down?
Yes, sir.
All right, take a picture of your work and send it to me, Tyreek. Where's Dave? Dave, are you there? Where's Dave?
Yes, sir.
You didn't send me no work from yesterday.
You mean, because I submitted quizzes from yesterday. It was like 3 or 4 I did.
But you didn't do no video. While it wasn't loaded.
I texted you because I had a mock book, so.
Say it again.
I said
Oh, because,
I
oh,
texted
okay.
you.
I know, but I want you to send me the quiz grades too. All right.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit. I'm gonna have to leave in 20 minutes.
Who's this speaking?
Harmony.
Okay. All right, next. Let's go ahead and take a picture of this and send it to me via WhatsApp. We're gonna do these other ones. You do not have to write them down. We're just doing them in the chat. I like this one. Okay, so this one, put your hands inside the chat. This one says Chris is facing east. He turns clockwise for 3/4 of a revolution. In which direction is he now facing? Chris is facing east. He turns clockwise for 3/4 of a revolution. In which direction is he now facing? All right, put your hands inside the chat for me, please. We're talking about Chris.
Is my answer right?
Say it again.
Is my answer right?
What's your name? Nika?
Yes, sir.
You will see right now because we both answered together.
Mr. Petit, you see my answer?
I can see all the answers that's in the chat.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I realized?
Uh-huh.
All these people go in the same place where the next person was.
Is that so? I didn't even notice that. I hope that's correct.
Mr. Petit, you want us to send it?
Put your answers out of the chat. You don't have to write this one down. Put your answers out of the chat. What do y'all have for this one?
I said so.
No.
No, I said north. I'm missing for south.
What's north?
It's north.
It's north.
It's east.
North.
I am
North.
south.
It's going anti-clockwise. Clockwise.
It's
No,
east to clockwise.
What is
I get that wrong.
What does it say? What does it say? It says what?
Clockwise. The turns
Going
clockwise.
clockwise.
So that means it's south.
Clockwise.
South.
Clockwise.
I thought it was east-west.
Clockwise. What does clockwise mean? What direction we going now?
Going left, basically.
We're going this way. We're going this way, right? And it says 3/4, right? So that means that we're gonna move 3 times. So it's gonna be 1, 2,
Which is
and
not.
3. So it's gonna be what?
Not.
So y'all see the difference, right? So be careful. They might say clockwise. So be careful with that. All right. So the answer is north. Who all said north the first time?
I'd read it carefully, but it's not. When I read it and then I know.
It's very good. It's north, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Again, you don't have to write this one down. I only wanted you to write down 2. Okay, the next one. So she's facing north. I like this one. Ryan is facing north. He turns clockwise for 2/4 of a revolution. In which direction is he now facing? Put your answers inside the chat for me, please. Ryan is facing north right now. He turns clockwise for 2/4 of a revolution. In which direction is he? Put your answer in the chat. Put your answer in the chat. In which direction is he now facing? Skylar, are you right? Skylar, where's Skylar?
Yes.
Do you know
Excuse me, Mr. Petit, do we write this down too?
No, you're only supposed to write down the first 2. Where's Skylar?
Yes.
Skylar, have you sent in your work?
No, sir.
Do you have a phone to send your work on?
No.
It's Skylar, it's either yes or no, so okay. So let's try it again. Do you have a phone to send your work on?
No, sir.
Okay. Can you use your parents' phone?
They're not here right now.
They're not there. Are you writing down the notes and understanding it?
Yes, sir.
You understand? Okay. Have you put your answers for this one yet? So put your answer for this one. Damari, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You understand how to do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What you have for your answer?
South.
Say it again.
South.
South. Damari, have you sent in your work via WhatsApp?
Yes, sir.
What's your number? No, put your name so I can notice it's you. By the way, for those persons who are new, please put your name when you're sending me the work so I can know it's who it is. So Damari, put your name to your work so I could see it, please.
All right.
All right, let's move on. This is going to be, we start at north and we're gonna move clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Clockwise.
Clockwise. So it's gonna be what? We're gonna move this one. That's gonna be 1.
South.
And then twice. Oh, by the way, what y'all put? Y'all put what?
South.
South. So the correct answer is south. So that means that
South.
he is facing south now. All right, question, do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Y'all think y'all ready for the quiz?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, the quiz will be put inside the chat in 5, 4. By the way, once you've started the quiz, please put started inside the chat. And remember that the passing grade for the quiz is 80%. All right, 80%. So try to get 80%. Now this quiz is out of 22, so that means that you have to get a 19 in order to you have to get an 18, eh? Yeah, you have to get an 18 in order to pass. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, the quiz is inside the chat. I'm gonna post it one more time. The quiz is inside the chat. Click on the quiz so that you'll be able to access it. It's based on rotations and revolutions. Please take your time and read the quiz, read the questions on the quiz. You don't get extra points for finishing it first. Okay? Take your time and read through the questions. Take your time and read through the questions, okay? Take your time and read through the questions. The quiz is inside the chat. Again, the quiz is inside the chat.
Hello, can you send it, please?
You want me to resend it?
Yes,
Can
I
you send it
just.
to my Gmail?
I could
My
resend.
Wi-Fi went out.
All right, who want me to send it to that Gmail? Skylar? All right, you need to get a 80% on this quiz.
Excuse me, Mr. Biddy. Just Tarek, I'm about to restart my router. I will be back.
Okay, no problem. All right. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to complete this quiz with at least 80% accuracy. Please make sure put your name on the quiz. Make sure put your name on the quiz. Put your name on the quiz. All right. Zion, are you working on the quiz? Zion Neely? Zion Neely, are you working on a quiz? Okay. Zion Neely, do you understand what to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Zion Davis? Where's Zion Davis?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what you're doing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thomasina, do you understand what you're doing?
Yes, I understand.
That's good. Chanel Jones, do you understand what you're doing? Chanel Jones, do you understand what you're doing? Where's Chanel Jones?
Yes, sir.
You understand what you're doing, right?
Yes, sir.
No problem. Kaiwan Parker, where's Kaiwan Parker? Or Kaiwan Parker?
Yes, sir.
You understand what to do? Kaiwan, you understand what to do?
Yes.
All right. Very good, Malik Dorset. Very good, Deshae Clark. Very good, Crimson Clark. Very good, Cleveland Ramsey. Very good, Adrian. Donika, Nala, Patrick, Dijon, Freddie, Ren, Max, Alea, Davis, Aiden, Frandu. By the way, take a picture, that's very important. Take a picture. For those of you who are finished with the quiz, take a screenshot of your grade and send it to me via WhatsApp. Anyone got a good grade yet? Anyone pass? As yet?
Afternoon.
I did.
Good day.
I did.
That's good.
What?
Anyone finish? Very
Me.
good. That's good. Very good. Antoine, very good. Sharon Spencer. Caleb Higgs, very good. Nico Rule, very good. Alex and Stavonia and Malia. The rest of you, please quickly finish up the quiz. Sashanik, very good. Alicia Alden, very good. Felia Cooper, can you hear me? That's Felia Cooper.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay, are you doing the quiz?
I see my grade right now.
I get 100%.
That's good. That's good. Where's Jervin? Jervin, are you there?
Mr. Petit, I got 100%. 22 out of 22.
Very good.
You can send the quiz back in the chat, please.
I'm present.
Are you doing the work? Who want me to post the quiz back in the chat?
Trinity.
Trinity, okay. All right, I'm gonna repost the quiz inside the chat. So, who all are done with the quiz? Let me know if you're finished with the quiz.
I am.
I'm
I'm
done.
done. I am.
That's good. That's good.
I am.
That's good. How was it?
It was easy.
Easy.
It's easy.
Mr. Petit, what's the passing grade?
You have to get at least 18. At least
I got
8.
an 18.
At least 18.
I
Get
got
at
a
least
21.
I got a 20 out of 22.
20 out of 22 is good.
I got 20 out of 22.
20 out of 22. That's good. All right. I think that we're about to start. Remember, I promised that we're going to do what topic we actually gonna do. Anyone remember?
Social.
Volume.
Volume. I did promise that we're gonna do volume, so let's get into that. So we did.
Mathematics.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Oh.
It's definitely a part of it. Without question. Without question, my friend. All right. Okay, so for those of us who are finished with the quiz, let's go ahead and start volume. All right. Let me see you all finished.
Get the rest of it.
Say it again. You didn't get the rest of
No.
the notes. Okay. Okay, no problem. Right.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Let me take a screenshot.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna send it to your phone right now. Ray Hall. This is the notes from the first one. Okay, so okay, good. So we know what perimeter is. Perimeter is defined as what? Perimeter is defined as what?
The distance around the shape.
The distance
Outline.
Yeah, the distance around an object, right? We know, why am I heading up again? This is section 2. Volume. We know what is area. What is area? Area is gonna be what?
The inside of the tape.
The distance inside of
The what? I don't know. What is area? We know Perimeter is the distance around an object. What is area?
The
distance inside of an object.
You wouldn't say the distance, we'd say the
The
space,
measurement.
the space. Or
Mr. Petit, is volume like the mass of the shape?
we didn't get the volume yet, we just define an area. So if you have a two-dimensional object, a flat object, the space inside that two-dimensional object is what is
Would be 0.
no, would be the area, right? The space inside, that's the area of a two-dimensional shape. Now, let's talk about the volume. Now, what is volume? Volume is what?
The area
The
inside
amount
of
of-
a three-dimensional shape.
The area of a three-dimensional shape.
22.
Very good. What is volume? Anyone ever learned volume before? You ever learned before?
Yes,
the
sir.
amount of
How much
something
can hold?
General science.
How much is something can hold?
How much
You
some,
have the maximum.
the amount that you have? Okay, so basically volume deals with, we already know volume deals with three-dimensional shapes. So we're looking at things that has not only a length, not only a width, but also a height as well, right? So we're dealing with three-dimensional shapes. But let's introduce it. So before we actually define area, let's actually introduce it. So write this down for me, please. In mathematics, we have objects that have
I got a
objects.
21, 22.
That's good. So in mathematics, we have objects with 0 dimensions.
Excuse me,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Petit, may I please be excused?
Yes, we can. So we have objects that have 0 dimensions. What object in math do you think has 0 dimensions? If you were to think of it. It has no width, no height,
A
no
straight
length.
line.
No, a straight
line?
a line has a length,
A circle.
not a
A
circle.
dot?
A point.
A spinel.
A point. So in mathematics, we have objects with 0 dimensions, such as a point. We have objects in 1 dimension, such as a what?
Line.
Such as a line. We have objects in 2 dimensions, such as a what?
Square.
Such as a square. What else? What are objects in 2 dimensions?
A rectangle.
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 Tagon, nonagon.
All our polygons.
Trapezium.
Yeah. Our quadrilaterals.
Polygon.
Right? Square, triangle, trapezium, rhombus, kite. What else? Objects in 2 dimensions.
Cylinder.
Circle. Is a cylinder 2-dimensional? Be careful. Is a cylinder 2-dimensional?
No, sir.
No. Circle.
Cylinder.
All the
3D.
stuff, semicircle, all the stuff that we've been doing thus far, those are 2-dimensional objects, right? You could find the area of it. And we also have objects. Write this down for me, please, that are in 3 dimensions. Or that are 3-dimensional, such as what? The cube. What else?
A sphere.
A sphere. There we go. What else? A cube, a sphere. What else?
A
what?
cylinder.
A cylinder.
Void.
A what?
A pyramid. A cone.
A pyramid. A cuboid. What else?
Trapezoid.
Rectangular prism.
Trapezoid is still trapezoid is two-dimensional.
A rectangular prism.
Rectangular prism, prism of all sorts. All right.
Cube.
What? Cube, ready of cube. A hemisphere. Hemisphere. What
A
else?
torus, I think that's how you pronounce it.
I don't know what
It's
you're
like a
talking about.
ring.
It's like a what?
Like a ring.
A ring. I don't know. What
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
uh-huh.
If you get a 17 or the 22, you have to do it over, right?
Yes, that's correct. A sphere, a cube, a cylinder, cuboid, prisms, hemisphere, those are examples, and so on. Those are examples of three-dimensional objects. So Calvin, where's Calvin? Calvin Hyla. Where's Calvin? Calvin, can you hear me? I can't hear you all now. Genesis, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You're very low. Very, very low. Can you all hear her?
No, sir.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So we have stuff that are one-dimensional, two-dimensionals, and zero-dimensional and three-dimensional. Dave, give me an example of a structure or an object in math that is zero-dimensional. Dave. Where's Dave? Dave Griffin, can you hear me? Can't hear from Dave. Hello, it's Dave.
Maybe excuse.
Yes, we can. How about Akai? Akai, can you hear me? Akai, can you hear me?
Oh, you was calling me?
Yes, I was asking you for an object in math that is zero-dimensional.
A point.
A point. And Devana notes. That's correct. Devana notes. Where's Devana notes?
Yes, sir.
Can you give me an example of a shape that is two-dimensional?
Pardon me?
Can you give me an example of a shape that is two-dimensional? Two-dimensional. Devana.
You kind of low. I'm here.
I'm saying, can you give me an example of a shape that is two-dimensional? Two-dimensional. Like a two-dimensional shape.
A cube.
No, a cube is three-dimensional. I want two-dimensional. It says it right there. We have objects in two-dimensional. Give me an example. Any one of these.
A square.
A square. Vincent, where's Vincent?
Mr. Batid, you want us to write this down?
Yes, write this down for me, please. Everyone should be writing this down. Where's Vincent?
Good afternoon, Mr. B.
Good day. Where's Vincent? Vincent, can you hear me? And Malicio. I can't hear from them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Vincent, give me an example of a three-dimensional shape.
A cylinder.
Cylinder.
No.
A cylinder.
Yeah.
All right,
Alright.
so now we're talking about three-dimensional space or three-dimensional shapes. So by definition, the space occupied within a what? Three-dimensional object is called the what? It's called the what? The space inside of a three-dimensional object is called the what?
Volume.
It's called the is called the volume of
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
the object. Yes.
I have a question. So you see how like cylinder is like basically a circle stacked up on top of a circle. You think then enable to get 4D dimension, you have the star 3D dimension. No wait. Maybe so.
Well, 4D. So that's an age-old question. Like, how do we get the 4 dimensions, right?
How do we get 5D?
Well, 4D. For 4D, you just include time. So, that's how sometimes some people look at it. Like, if you wanna talk about a 4-dimensional object, you have to include another variable. Another variable could be time. So, how does this shape look at this particular time? Where is this shape at this particular time? Like you added a 4th variable. And so that could be in a sense 4 dimensions. Because you added time. Yes.
You said they add time and stuff.
Yes.
They ask like, how did the shape look during the time? Well,
Yes.
what does that change about the shape?
It wouldn't change. Okay, for example, like you can imagine if you're launching a missile, right? Like that shape at 1 second, it would be different from it at like say 2.3 seconds because it's going to be in an atmosphere. It's probably going to explode. It's probably going to do something like, it's probably going to change arc. It's probably going to change, like it's going to change because it's like in flight, right? So stuff like that. Okay, so, but we still are grappling around this 4D question. And so it's maybe y'all could study it and see. Y'all could, invent something like that. But the objects below are examples of 3-dimensional objects. So you have to be able to identify these objects. You have to be able to identify, you have to know them when you see them, right? So if you see a hemisphere, you have to be able to know that's a hemisphere. If you see a cuboid, you have to know that's a cuboid. If you see a sphere, you have to know that's a sphere, and so on. All right. And so in this case, we have 4 3-dimensional objects. What is this first one? What is this first one? That's a what? A cylinder. Very good. What is the second one?
Cone.
Cone. What's the third one?
Cube.
Cube. And then the fourth one is a
Sphere.
A sphere.
Sphere.
So the amount. Go ahead. Go. Say it again.
Go on mute. My mother's mic.
No problem. So I could okay. So that means that, by the way, please do your best to draw this. So do your best to draw this as insofar as you can. So that means that the space inside, kind of cool. The space inside of this cylinder, the capacity of the cylinder is what we call the what? Call that the
Volume.
The volume of
The
the shape.
volume.
The volume of the shape. And we're going to be learning how to calculate the volume of these shapes, right? Yeah, we're going to learn how to calculate the volume of them.
Could you repeat that, please?
We're going to be learning how to calculate the volume of the shape. So that means that how much space is inside of it is the volume. So you can imagine if you would,
thank you.
Yeah, you can imagine if you would fill this with water, like the capacity, like if you was trying to fill this up with water, like how much can it fit? So when we say liters is a volume like unit, right? If we say meters cube, that's a volume unit. If we say capacity, that's volume, right? We're talking about the amount of space that this 3-dimensional object can hold. And that's very important because when you're building stuff, you need to know how much it could actually hold before you build it, and then, you know, it don't hold the thing that you needed, the amount you needed to hold. And so engineers, people who are gonna do engineering, people who are gonna build stuff, they need to study volume. All right. And we have all sorts of ways in order to figure out the volume. A lot of ways. That's when you get into calculus and stuff. All right. Okay, so
Do we draw this?
yes, you do draw this. So let's move on to our first way of calculating the volume, and that's using, I always start from the fundamentals. There are formulas, so you know that obviously there are formulas on how to calculate the volume. But we're gonna first look at how to calculate the volume just by using a grid. So if you have, yes.
My mom just said that I have to go like at 7:30.
Okay, no problem. No problem. That's fine. So let's say, for example, we have these different shapes, and I want you to tell me what you think the volume is going to be for these particular shapes. So we're gonna have these shapes listed, and I just want you to tell me what you think the volume of these shapes is going to be, all right? In cubic units, all right? In cubic units. And so please draw this. Let me put the instructions first so that you can see it. So in each case, determine the volume with instructions. For examples, our first examples. Do your best to draw these, right? In each case, determine the volume of the shape. And if you know what it is, you could start by putting your answers inside the chat, even before we actually answer it. But I want it in cubic units, sorry. So what is the volume of this shape in cubic meters? So it is a solid, right? It is
Mr. Petit, you want us to draw this, right?
yes, draw it.
Okay.
Do your best to draw it. Yes, go ahead.
Can I use the bathroom, please?
Yes, you can. Deja Bari, where's Deja Bari? Where's Deja Bari? Deja, can you hear me? Okay. So when we're looking at area, we are thinking about square units, right? Is that true? Thinking about square units. But when we're dealing with volume, we deal with what? Cubic units. Why do you think it's cubic units? Because we're
Excuse me, we have to draw this.
Yeah, you have to draw it. Do your best to draw it.
Okay.
Why do you think it's cubic meters? Why do you think it's cubic meters?
Because they're dimension.
They're
cube. Yeah, because it's 3 dimensions, right? It's not a 2-dimensional object, so it's 3 dimensions. So it's going to be cubic units because you have to account for the length, the width, and the height. All right, that's 3 different dimensions that we're dealing with. 3 different axes: the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. All right. All right. Yeah, the z. Okay, so where's Antio? Anama, they all there? Antio and Amara, you're there? Deja, I can't hear you now. Did you do the quiz, Antio and Ahmad? Did y'all do the quiz? All right, so what we're gonna put for this answer In each case, determine the volume of the shape. We're gonna put for that. So for this one, well, let me put the other one to give you all a chance. Let me put the other one as well. So we can have it. All right, so we have two. Can y'all see my screen now, right? So we have two of them. So question, how are we gonna figure out the volume of this particular shape? What are we gonna do? See, sorry. What are we gonna do?
Are we gonna count the space?
Cubic units?
We're gonna count the
Count the spaces.
count the
Cubic units?
count the cubic units, right? What did y'all get for number one?
17.
17. Y'all think it's 17?
10. I think it's only
10.
10. That's the same thing I got.
10. 10. Remember, you're not counting the squares. You're counting the whole block, right? You understand that?
Yeah. I got
So
17.
how you get 17?
10.
I get
Okay.
15. I get 15.
How you get
10.
15?
Got
Okay,
10.
this is this is what? This is what? This is one block. One cube, right? Right? 1 cubic unit. This is a what?
I mean 17. I got.
This is another cubic unit, right? This is another one. This is 3, isn't it? It's another whole cubic unit. This is what? Another one,
10.
4, right? This is another one.
They get
Another one, 5.
17.
This is another one, 6. This is another one, 7. This is another one, 8. This is another one, 9. And this is another one. It's gonna be 10. So how many cubic units is this?
10 cubic units.
10 cubic units. Does that make sense to y'all? Let me know if that makes
Yes,
sense.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who do not understand how I got 10?
Yes, sir.
Who do not understand how I got 10? Do not.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So it's 10 cubic units. 10 cubic units because you have to count each block. You have to count each block because it's a cube, right? So basically, how many? That's another definition of volume. How many cubic units are inside this particular shape, right? Same thing for area. How many square units are inside this particular shape, right? That's what we mean by the volume, and that's what we mean by the area. So can y'all do number 2 by yourself? What y'all got? Well, don't say it out loud. Just put inside the chat. Just put inside the chat. Just put inside the chat. What y'all got for number 2?
Can you check my answer, please?
Yes, I can.
9.
Just put your answer inside the chat. Put your answer inside the chat.
But we just say don't say the answer loud.
He just said that.
Just put your answer inside the chat. Please make sure that your mic is muted. Sometimes persons don't hear me when I speak, so just be patient with them. Please be patient. All right. Put your answer inside the chat for me, please. So for this one, we have to actually count. Tell me what y'all get when y'all did it.
Me?
9.
9.
Yeah,
9.
9 cubic units. So there's gonna be, obviously we're counting the whole block, so it's gonna be 1, and this is 2, and this is 3, and this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, and this is 9. Remember, what's the answer? 9 what?
cubic units.
Cubic units.
Unit.
Why cubic units?
Because they're shaped like a cube.
No. Why cubic units? Because we're dealing with what?
It's like 3.
3-dimensional
3 dimensions. 3 dimensions.
On each block.
And we're counting and we're trying to find the volume. That's why right? The volume. Okay, so let's do this one. This one is interesting because let me just do one more easy one, and then we can get to this one that's interesting. So put your answer inside the chat for me, please. Again, put your answer inside the chat. What is going to be the, this is number 3. What's going to be the answer for this one, number 3? What is the volume? Yeah, draw the 2. Yeah, there's a lot of drawing in this one. So that's what I said initially at the beginning. You're gonna be drawing a lot.
Drawing those?
Yes, you're drawing them. Everything I have on the screen, you draw. Do your best to draw them, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so put your answers inside the chat for me, please. For number 3, Rudy, why you say between 5 or 10? What you mean?
The way how it looked, so it probably I probably counted wrong, but
you're counting each block. You understand that?
Yeah, yes,
so you're not counting. Sherelle Watson, that's funny. You're counting each block. You're not counting the face. Right? You're counting each block.
Okay.
All right. So if we were to count each block, can y'all hear me still? I feel like I got disconnected.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that means that we're gonna have what? It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, then what? 4, and then what?
4,
and 5. So the answer is 5 cubic units. Did y'all get that? That's all
Yes,
I
sir.
put that.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
5 cubic units. All right. So this should be straightforward for you all. You all should be able to get that just by looking at it, and if they give you the actual cubic units, then you could answer like that. But they almost never give you it like this. So we have to actually find it when we do not have our cubic units given, right? But at least when you do the cubic units, you just get an understanding of, hey, what we mean by volume. And again, volume is the amount of space that a 3-dimensional object contains, or basically how many cubic units is inside of this 3-dimensional object. Now, are we done with the left-hand side with writing these notes? You all done with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, good.
Oh, yes, sir.
Good. Most of us are. So let's go ahead and let me move that. Move this. Let me get move that. So the goal is still to find the volume, but let's say I want a volume of say, you know, this particular shape. Now this is more like it. This is what you probably might see more than likely. If they give you a question on area, it'll be like this, right? I mean, not area, volume. So they want you to find the volume of this shape. What do we call the shape? This is a what?
A cube.
Cube.
It's a cube. Now, what is the volume of this cube? How do we find the volume of this cube? We don't have no blocks to count, so what are we gonna do?
You are adding the numbers.
I know, sir.
We need to add the numbers. She's saying that we have to add the numbers.
You multiply the height by the length by the width.
And then times the width times the width.
Oh, so you're telling me that I must add all this. I must add 6 plus
No, so you
6
multiply them. Multiply.
plus 6.
Multiply them.
But I thought you add them.
Multiply. No,
I
sir,
thought-
that's for perimeter.
That's for perimeter. Very good. We're not finding the perimeter, are we? We're finding the volume. So volume of a cube, write this down. You need the formula for volume of a cube. Go ahead, Joel. Go ahead.
I know I might be wrong, right? But
Mhm.
do you like count the squares on the cube?
No, 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 no. Volume of cube, I can give you the formula right now. Volume of cube. Write this down for me, please. Volume of cube is equal to what? What's the formula? Length?
Length times
Length times
width
width
times
times.
height.
Very good. Length times width.
I really wish I learned how to draw these.
Mr. Petit,
Mm-hmm.
when you finish, you may have to talk. Wait a little bit, cause I still draw number 3.
Still
How do
drawing
you
number
draw
3.
cube?
How do you draw a cube? Okay, let me show you how to draw a cube. First, you start by drawing a rectangle. And then you draw another rectangle inside of it, like this. And then at that point, you just connect them. So this connect with this, connect with that, connect
It
with
was that easy all this time?
yeah.
Hey,
So you
did I
draw.
can't play?
Even though you,
I will bear take my hand.
even though you draw a wrong
Only
drawing,
use my cube right
like
now.
a box. Okay, so I just let you know it looked like a box.
Yeah, it looked like a box. Let's draw a box. All right.
Like oh no.
All right.
Can you do that again, please?
Yes, sir.
Let me do it one more time. I'm sure there are much better artists than me now. Some people just have an eye for these stuff. But the way our eyes do it, I just do. Let's do a box. Well, a square first. Then you draw it in the middle of it. And then drop them but the same size. You just connect them. So this one connect with that. This one connect with this. This one connect with that. And that one connect with that. All right. And then just label.
I just did it. I just
You did it? Just label them 6 meters, 6 meters, millimeters that is, sorry. And then 6 millimeters, okay? Be good? All right, so length times width times what? Times height. Length times width times height. Now, in this case, what is the length? Well, all of them are the same, but the length would be this side, right? So this is the length, so it's going to be equal to 6 millimeters multiplied by what? 6 millimeters. 6 millimeters multiplied by what? The height, which is 6 millimeters. And then let me erase that. So we're gonna do it step by step. So what does that mean? That means that we're gonna have 6 times 6 is gonna be equal to what?
36.
36.
36.
36 millimeters. You know what? Anyway, 36 millimeters squared multiplied by, we bring this down, 6 millimeters. And then it's gonna be what? 36 times 6 is what?
216.
216.
216. 216
216 millimeters cube.
millimeters squared.
Cube.
Millimeters squared. Or millimeters cube.
Cube.
Cubed. Cube. And that's how we find the volume. So the amount of space that this particular object occupies is 216 cubic millimeters. That's the answer, 216 cubic millimeters. Does that make sense?
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
How you get
I know how you get the answer, but how you get the 3 as the squared?
You mean here? You mean for this one?
Yeah, yes, sir, for the answer.
Oh, it's 1 moment. It's always cube for volume. Always cube for volume.
Mr.
So
Petit, is it cube because of
it's always cube for volume, and the way you know is because we multiply in 3 millimeters. 1 millimeter, 3 millimeter, then this third one. So it's gonna be, when you multiply 2 of them, you get millimeters squared. And when you multiply millimeters squared with millimeters, it's gonna be millimeters cubed. That's how we get that.
So if you
So basically depends on the number.
multiplying
Yeah.
4, it'll be 4 instead of 3.
Say it again. One
If you
moment.
multiplying 4 numbers, would it be 4 instead of 3?
Yes, if you're multiplying 4, I mean, it wouldn't happen in volume, but if you're multiplying 4 numbers that have the units, then it would be millimeters to the 4th power. That's correct.
Sorry about that. I think I have to leave now, but I got pretty much everything that was here. So I think I get the concept. Thank you for teaching class.
You sound so much like Legacy. No problem.
All right, good night.
Good night. Wow, identical. All right. So that's how we find the area, the volume of a cube. Put I inside the chat if you understand how I got this. Put I inside the chat if you understand how I got that. Put N if you do not understand. By the way, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. And again, put I inside the chat if you understand how I got this answer. Put N if you do not understand. Go ahead.
I have a question. How you get
that was easy.
how you get 216 millimeters 3?
I got 206 because 36 times 6.
Oh, okay.
How is that? Yeah. Yeah, 36 times 6. Let me show the multiplication.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit. You could please put your number inside the group, please.
My number is 426-8891. And please do not give your friends at school my number. My number is 426-8891. Mr. Petit. I don't want no one randomly calling me in the middle of the night.
Mr. Petit, the sound and tempting.
All right, so we have 36 times 6. That's how we got 216. So let me just write that down. By the way, take a picture of this and send it to me via WhatsApp. Everyone should be done with writing this. We have to move on to bigger and better things with our lives. 6 times 6 is 36. We put 6.
I draw the number 4.
We put 6 down. We put
3 on top of the
3 on
street.
top. 6 times 3 is
36.
6
plus-
times 3 is
No, 18. My bad.
18 plus 3
Plus-
is
Plus the 3 equals 21.
21, so it's going to be 216. All right, that's how we got 216 millimeters cube. All right, Xavier Cooper, you understand this? Xavier Cooper, you understand this? Patrick, do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Kylie and Kayla? Do you all understand this?
Yes, sir.
Charisala, do you understand this? Charisala, do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
That's good. Antio and Ahmad, I can't hear from y'all. Are y'all here or not? Antio and Ahmad.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand how to do this?
Yes, sir.
How about your brother? Where's your brother?
You read that?
Okay. Have y'all finished writing this down? I need y'all notes, please. So I need to move on. I can't be on this all day. You know what I could do? You done? What I could do is I could
I'm
keep this.
finished.
I keep this one on the
Finished.
side, and I'm gonna change it, and then we're gonna do another. So we know how to do cuboid. I mean cube. And it's the same thing for let's do another one. Let's kind of do another one. So you're gonna say where are we? I'm gonna move this one on this. I'm gonna move this one so that we have space. I don't need I'm assuming y'all finished with this, so let's move that out of the way.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just keep that first one on that side. All right, so I'm going to, this one is going to be, what shape is this? Anyone know what this shape is? We call this a what?
Or rectangle.
Rectangle?
A rectangle. It's not a rectangle.
A rectangular prism.
A rectangular prism or a cuboid. All right.
But it isn't a rectangle.
It's a what? It's not a it's not a rectangle. A rectangle is that's very. Say it again.
Are we gonna do this one?
Yeah, we're gonna do this one. This is number 4. Number 5. This is what you call a rectangular prism or a cuboid. So volume of this, if it has like a rectangular shape, a squarish shape, but 3D, it's always going to be length times width times height. So that means that the volume of this shape is going to be what? Length multiplied by what?
Width times height.
Multiplied by the width. Multiplied by the height. So length times width times height. Now, what is the length in this question?
The longest side.
We usually say the length is the longest side. But when we say the length is the longest side, we're only referring to the longest side of the two when it comes to the width and the length. All right. So what is higher? What is higher between 7 and 15?
15.
15. So 15. So 15 would be the length. Even though 18 is longer, 18 is the width. So we can't, we can't use that. So we're gonna use what? 15 feet. By the way, you don't have to put the units because the units might confuse you. You have to put the units until the end. Multiplied by
7.
The width, which is the width is
18.
18.
the width. Seven. And the height is what?
18.
The height is 18. Okay. And so all we gotta do now is multiply. So we have, it's gonna be equal to
7 into 15.
It's gonna be 15 times 7.
I got 105.
105.
You have 105 when you multiply them together?
Yes, sir. When I times 7 times 15.
Okay. So this is 7 times 5 is
105.
35. Put the 5 down. Put the 3 up.
3.
Yeah. 7 times 1 is
7 plus the
7
3
plus 3 is
9. 10.
10. Yeah. It's gonna be what? 105. So it's gonna be 105. Ooh, that's gonna be big.
Yes, sir.
105.
I have my answer already.
What y'all have?
I have my answer.
Times 18.
105 times 18.
1,890.
1,890.
1,890 feet.
Wow.
Okay. Cubic feet.
Cubic.
All right. Let's actually multiply it. So we have 108 multiplied by
18.
18.
105.
105.
105.
105. Okay.
Oh, 105. Sorry.
105. That was just a test to see if y'all was paying attention. 105 times 18. We have 8 times 5 is what?
8 times 5 equals 40.
Yeah, put the 0 down, put the 4 up. 8 times 0 is 0 plus 4
0.
is 4.
4.
8 times 1 is
8.
Supposed to
8.
write that?
Yes, you have to write this down. You have to write this down. Everything I have on the screen, you have to write. That's a given at this point. You put 0 down. 1 times 5 is
5.
5. 1 times 0 is
0.
0. 1 times 1 is
1.
1. All over. It's plus. 0 plus 0 is
0.
0. 4 plus 5 is
9.
9. 8 plus 0 is
8.
8. And 1 plus 0 is
1.
1. And so that means that the volume of this shape, this cuboid, this rectangular prism is going to be what?
1,800.
1,008. 1,000. What is going to be?
890.
What?
Feet to the power of 3.
Feet what?
To the power of 3.
Feet to the power of 3. Feet cube. Does that make sense to y'all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. How many persons do not understand how I got this? If you do not understand, let me know. If you don't understand, do not. How many persons understand how I got it? Let me know if you understand.
I understand.
I understand.
I understand.
I understand.
I understand.
Perfect. So we know how to figure out the area of a cube. We know how to figure out the area of a cuboid or rectangular prism. Now we need to figure out I say area, I mean volume. We need to figure out, we know the volume of a cube, we know the volume of a cuboid, rectangular prism. Let's do, no, we should do the volume
Mr.
of,
T,
yes, go ahead.
may I use the bathroom, please?
Yes, we can. We only have like 10 minutes yet left. Let's see if we could do the volume of a cylinder. Y'all ever done that before? The volume
No,
of-
sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Let's do the volume of a cylinder.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the formula for the volume of a cylinder, by the way?
Length times width times height.
No.
Isn't that a volume of
Cylinder.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit. Is the cylinder 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional?
Cylinder is three-dimensional.
It's length times width times height.
No, ma'am.
No?
Length times width.
length times width times base?
Mm-mm.
It's
I have a question. Height times width.
it have to be
Length times
pi.
height.
Something.
Someone said.
Length times height.
R
Times height.
Someone is saying it.
Pi times r squared times height.
Length times
Yes.
height.
Yes. Pi r squared times h. All right, so let's just do that. So let's say we have a cylinder. Let me go online and get a cylinder, a nice cylinder.
Mr. Petit,
Yes.
we doing a quiz on this?
No, we ain't doing a quiz on this.
Okay.
I want to just so let me just show you all the cylinder. I hope you have a chance to just quickly do this. So the cylinder, this is how a cylinder look, and this is its volume. The volume is pi r squared times h. That's the volume of a cylinder. This is how a cylinder is. Now when we say h refers to the height. R is the radius, right? And obviously pi is going to be equal to 3.14. So let's go ahead and find the volume of a cylinder. And so let's go ahead and do that. But we only get one example in, so don't rush your head.
Excuse me, Petit.
Uh-huh.
Can you go back on the what do you mean? The shape, please, because I was gonna write down the example if I can remember it.
For example.
what you had on the screen a while ago.
You mean the cylinder?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we're gonna do that right now. So let's go ahead and do it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna move it, right? I'm just gonna move this side. I think y'all should be finished with this side, right? So
Yes, sir.
let's figure out the volume of this shape. Let me get this. Now, sort of the reason why, so the volume of any prism, and obviously a cylinder is, the volume of any prism is the area of the cross section multiplied by the area, sorry, the area of any prism is going to be the volume of any prism is going to be the area of the cross section multiplied by the height. So in this case, the cross section is a circle. I don't know if y'all can see that. All right, that's a circle. And if you look at the bottom, this is also a circle too. So that's why the volume of this cylinder is going to be the area of the cross section, which is the area of the circle, multiplied by the height. In our case, the height is going to be, let's say that the height is a nice 9 meters, say. And let's say that the radius is, what we want the radius to be?
6.
6? That's good.
2. 7.
Say 2. Let's do 6 centimeters. You don't want two odd numbers. All right, so therefore the area of the area, the volume of the shape, the volume of the cylinder, volume.
So which one is going to be centimeters or meters? Because you have 9 meters and 6 centimeters.
You are so right. Thank you. Let's use meters. Volume of cylinder. It's supposed to be like number 6, right? So volume of cylinder by the formula, it's going to be equal to pi r squared. And what is pi r squared? That's the area of a circle, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's going to be the area of a circle multiplied by the height, right? Now, what is pi in this case?
3.14.
Yeah, let's use pi as 3.14. So 3.14. What is the radius?
9.
The radius.
6.
The radius. The radius is half of the diameter, right? So the radius is going to be what? 6. The radius is going to be what?
Times 6.
6 squared.
6, right? So 6 squared multiplied by the height. What is the height?
9.
9 millimeters.
9. So it's going to be equal to 3.14
times 6
multiplied by 6 times what?
6.
6
That's 9.
times what?
9.
9.
9.
What are we gonna do at this point?
6 and
6 times 6.
What is 6 times 6?
36.
36.
So 3.14 multiplied by 36 multiplied by
9.
9. What is 3.14 times 36? That's what?
113.4.
113.04.
113.04. Multiplied by 9. And that gives us what? That gives us what?
1017.36.
1000.
17.36.
1000. 17. Point what?
36.
36. What's gonna be the units?
Meters cube.
Meters. Meters
Square.
cube.
A square.
Cube. We did it with volume, remember?
Oh, meters on
Cube. Okay, so quick recap. The volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times h. What is pi? Pi is 3.14. The radius is 6 meters. But we have to square the radius, so it's going to be 6 times 6. We know that 6 times 6 is 36. We know that 3.14 times 36 is 113.04. And we have 113.04 times 9. 9 because 9 is the height. 9 is the height. Let me indicate that. 9 is the height. This is the height. All right, 9 is the height. And r, and the radius is what? The radius is 6.
6.
And so this is how we work this out. All right, does that make sense to you all?
Yes, sir. Sir.
All right, go ahead and take a picture of this work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Any questions on how I got the radius, the area of the volume of this cylinder?
Squared times the height.
Sitting in?
Oh, sorry, no. I accidentally had my mic open.
Okay. How many persons do not understand how I got the volume of the cylinder? Let me know if you do not understand. Still don't understand what I did.
I'm finished with the work, Mr.
Me?
Petit.
I don't understand.
Who said they don't understand?
Carrington.
Carrington? Okay, what part don't you understand, Carrington?
None of it.
No, that's not true.
No.
Tell me which part.
I don't get the H.
How I got the
H. Mr. Petit.
How I got it?
My daddy calling me. I can hang up and I can join back.
Okay. All right, take a picture of this and send it to me via WhatsApp. Again, take a picture of this work and send it to me via WhatsApp.
Mr. Petit, I'm done with the work.
Okay, no problem. All right, now we're going to move on to social studies and religious studies. If you are not doing social studies or religious studies, you can leave.
Good night. Good night.
But for those of you who are doing
Good night.
for those of you who are doing social
social
studies and religious studies,
Good night, Mr. Petit.
you are doing it.
I am?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Night, Mr. Petit.
Good night. Good
Good
night.
night. Good night.
We have
Can you
social
repeat
studies.
Mr.
We have
Petit, am
social
I gonna-
studies. We have social studies and religious studies. All right.
Mr.
Those are-
Petit, I do in religious studies.
Yes. We have social studies and religious studies.
Good night, Mr. Petit.
Good night.
The video's not supposed to show. Test, is this a quiz or?
Say it again.
the videos, are they supposed to be showing or
What are you talking
am
about?
I Olivia?
Uh-huh. What videos?
Sir,
What videos you talking about?
you send me the time, problem solving time. stuff like
Yeah,
that.
the video's supposed to be
I know the
showing.
video.
They're not showing?
Oh. No, sir.
They're not showing at all.
No, sir.
Okay, let me call you after class so I can sort that out. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
Well,
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
go ahead, Tony.
Are you doing social studies first, then religious studies?
Yeah, we're doing social studies first and then RT.
Oh, okay.
Pardon?
I said, okay. Okay, sir.
All right. Remember, it's yes sir and no sir. Tony.
Oh, sorry.
Cooper.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit, can you go back? I was writing the answer for the last question.
All right, quickly take a picture of this and write it down because we got to move on to social studies.
Okay, I finished writing it.
You finished? Okay, good. So the last time we were here, we were talking about the Lucayans, right? So we're gonna continue our journey at that. And we're gonna start talking.
Easy.
Then we're gonna continue our journey with that. So this is gonna be let me add up.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Uh-huh.
I came to say that I will not be on here for the rest of the classes for religious because I have to go, sadly.
Okay, you are doing social studies or religious?
Religious.
Which one you doing?
I doing religious.
Okay. We don't do religion until after social studies. And that's at 8:30.
Yes, sir.
All right, so the subject is social studies. Today's topic is we're gonna be looking at. So last time we were here, we were talking about like, you know, the Lucayans and what did they used to eat and how we really was talking about the religious component of the Lucayans and really talking about the cacique and his duties and his responsibilities. And we was talking about what they believe from a religious context, right?
Sammy.
The Zammis and stuff that they believe in.
They believe in many gods.
Yeah, they believe in many gods and, you know, all those different things about it. What we're going to be talking about now is, because, you know, Christopher Columbus, he ended up coming and, you know, essentially ruining things, lack of a better terminology. And we want to talk, we want to eventually talk about, you know, the fact that he came and, you know, what led to his arrival. But what we want to talk about today is the things that facilitated his journey, right? What things facilitated his journey? What event or what sequence of events facilitated his journey that made him able to complete such a long journey? What did he had that he could have used to do this long journey? And so before, voyage, but we want to talk about the Renaissance.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna be talking about today, the Renaissance. Anyone ever heard about the Renaissance before?
Me.
Yes,
I
did.
Okay.
Yeah, so in a
What do you-
different
Okay, what do you know about the Renaissance?
is a test.
No, not a test.
I think they trade stuff.
It was the era of knowledge returning.
Who's speaking?
Steve O'Neill.
Yvonne, it was the era of
Knowledge like returning.
yes. Yes, that's 100%. So Renaissance basically means new birth, basically. And so we're gonna be talking about the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, what happened during that time, and why was it important? All right. So let's talk about
Mr. Petit.
the Renaissance. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, from the Dark Ages, I learned that when like you sin, like when you do something wrong, they used to tie your hands and your feet together and they used to throw you in the lake. And if you sink to the bottom, that means you guilty. And if you float on top, that means you weren't guilty.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of bad practices that used to happen during the Dark Ages. So let's talk about that. So before the Renaissance, right? The church had great control over the minds of the people. So was able to control the mind.
School Mr. Petit, you sure this social studies and not religious studies?
Yeah, I'm 100%. 100%. You never did the Renaissance, Paris?
No, I heard about it, right, but not really.
Not really? Okay. All right.
I never ever heard of it.
Okay, so we're gonna unpack that tonight. So before the Renaissance,
You read it wrong. Sorry.
before the Renaissance, the church was able to control the minds of what I have wrong.
It's hard, Mr. Petit.
What I have. The church.
Hard. Well, hard and worse.
Thank you. Before the Renaissance, the church was able to control the minds of many Europeans. For example, do you know that they used to believe that the earth was flat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
For
Some people still believe it.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
For example, ideas taught
But it's round.
As evolution.
by the church included
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
the belief.
I also heard that they used to believe that if you wrote, the church used to make them believe that if they wrote their boats past that, like, you know, when you're looking at the beach
Yeah.
and there's a line, that they boat will just fall off straight down.
Exactly.
It's like
Exactly.
no other place to go.
Exactly. That's correct. Because if you believe it flat, then you believe it has like a
And
an end, yeah. For example, ideas taught by the church include the belief that the earth was flat and they encouraged the belief that beasts and monsters inhabited places, inhabited spell that wrong. Inhabited
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
places, yes,
The next thing I learned was like the rottener your teeth was, the richer you was.
Oh, I did not know that. Beyond the boundaries of Europe. So this is.
Do we have to write this?
Yes, you have to write this down. Ren, why you keep on asking that same question?
Because I don't, no.
Yeah, we have to write it. That's why it's on the screen. You shouldn't just look at it. So before the Renaissance, the church had a lot of power and influence. And their influence crippled or made stagnant knowledge, access to knowledge, and the pursuit of excellence, and also invention, right? So the influence of the church during this time caused a halt or stagnation in invention, in the pursuit of knowledge, in learning, and exploration. So there was sort of like a halt in it because it's like you needed their permission, you needed their authority. You only could go so far as they would allow. But the Renaissance was, let's just define, but then the Renaissance happened. But then the Renaissance happened. Now the Renaissance, the reason why I be studying the Renaissance is because the Renaissance is what allowed Christopher Columbus to have the technology to be able to make his journey. If it wasn't because of the Renaissance, Christopher Columbus was not going to be able to make his journey because the boats was not going to hold up. Remember, he had 3 boats, and those boats were more modern than the previous boats. And what were the 3 boats that he had?
The Pinta, the Nina, and the
Santa Maria.
And the Santa Maria.
Yeah, the Nina, Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Those boats were made after the Renaissance, and they were made from the technology that the Renaissance provided, right? That's why they were able to make such great distances, right? So if it wasn't because of the Renaissance, then he wasn't gonna have the technology to be able to go that far. We're talking about the hourglass, we're talking about the compass, we're talking about the lead, the log, the quadrant, right? These things help sailors and explorers to explore, right? So the Renaissance, and this is you're gonna need to remember this because they might bring this in your exam. They like to ask, but what does Renaissance mean? It's a French term meaning what?
Rebirth.
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 Of learning.
Rebirth, right? Rebirth, right? So before the Renaissance, we had this dark ages where there was little light. It was dark because of the halt and stagnation of invention, the pursuit of knowledge, exploration was halted, and scientists couldn't do their work publicly. They had to do their work, secretly, so they wouldn't get catch. There was a great censoring of information. But the Renaissance happened, and the period, the rebirth of what? The rebirth of learning in all spheres. We're talking about history, literature, art, even religion, right? The rebirth of learning or knowledge. That's what Renaissance is. It was a period that lasted. Uh-huh.
The period was the 14th century.
Yes.
Century.
Yes. It was a period that lasted from the 14th century.
The 14th century.
That's a bit.
1520s.
The 14th century to the 16th century. Yes. To the 16th century. All right. It was a period of scientific curiosity, the return to classical learning, a period where not only art, but science and education and literature and music and a better way of life for people was opened. It was a rediscovery. That's why I say read, because it wasn't that they wasn't exposed to it before, just that there was a suppression of light and information. The people didn't have access to these things before. And you'd be like, why did people believe these? Why these people did da? It's because, there was a great suppression or banning of certain writings, right? So this period, the Renaissance.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Uh-huh.
if this didn't happen, then you could imagine the technology we'll have now.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. If this didn't happen, then there'll be a whole stagnation of learning. You're right. All right. So the Renaissance. The Renaissance. I don't think it would be that bad, but you're right. I mean, if you never know, you never know really. So thank God that the Renaissance happened.
You still could have been ruled by the church.
So the Renaissance was a period of scientific curiosity, the return to classical knowledge, the return to classical learning, and praise of humanity, the rebirth. So you had great Renaissance people like Michelangelo. Anyone knows Michelangelo?
Artist.
That's a teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yes, sir.
Not
painter and
He's an artist.
Yeah, he's an artist. I'm not talking about the guy from Ninja Turtle, even though that's where they got their names from. Do you know that's where they got their names from? From the Renaissance people.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
What's the name? I know Michelangelo. Who else?
Leonardo.
Michelangelo, Raphael,
Exactly.
Donatello.
Leonardo.
Nike.
D'Angelo.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, all of those are Renaissance men, right? The Renaissance period was a period of scientific curiosity, return to classical learning, and praise of humanity. The rebirth of not only art, but science, education, literature, and music. All right. So the Renaissance was a very important period in Earth's history. Very important. All right. Can you all see this? Can you all see my writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Edward Parker, are you there? Where's Edward?
I'm here.
Can you read the paragraphs I have so far? Read that for me, please.
Which one? Both?
Start from us. Yeah, all of them.
Before the Renaissance, the church was able to control the minds of many Europeans. For example, ideas taught by the church included the belief that the earth was flat, and they encouraged the belief that beasts and monsters inhabited places beyond boundaries of Europe. The influence of the church during this time caused a halt or stagnation in the invention, the pursuit of knowledge and learning and exploration. But then the Renaissance happened. The Renaissance is a French term meaning rebirth, the rebirth of learning or knowledge. It was a period that lasted from the 14th century to the 16th century. The Renaissance was a period of scientific curiosity, the return to classical learning and praise of humanity, the rebirth of not only art, but science, education, literature, and music.
Very good.
Sorry.
Very good. All right, so famous Renaissance men include who? Who would be some famous Renaissance men?
Donatello.
Where's Malia, Major?
Yes, sir.
Your mic keep on turning on and off. Are you paying attention?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Are you writing this down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So famous Renaissance men include
Leonardo da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Barbara.
Who? You said?
Bob Ross.
Who that is? I don't,
Raphael.
Bob
Raphael.
Ross was inside the 90s.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, they mean the orange-haired painting guy.
Oh, Leonardo da Vinci. Who was Leonardo da Vinci? What is he famous for?
Painting the Mona Lisa.
Painting the Mona Lisa.
In the capsule.
He was a painter.
Painter of the Mona Lisa.
He was a sculptor.
A literature.
He was an engineer, an architect, and a scientist. Then you have
Leonardo da Vinci.
who else? Then you have who?
Raphael.
How about Michelangelo? Michelangelo. Let's do Michelangelo first. Michelangelo. Yes, go ahead.
This is debatable, but what's so special about the Mona Lisa?
That I don't know. I don't know why it's special. I think maybe because of, I don't know why. I don't know the significance.
They said she had the most beautiful smile. I don't understand that. People is
I mean,
the Mona Lisa is for the sissies and the gays, you see.
That's how old it is.
So we have Michelangelo. He did he was also a painter and a sculptor, also a poet. So painter, sculptor. Yeah, this is Saint Chapel. Painter, sculptor. They could really sculpt. I must admit, they was really good at that. Architect. He was really good at that. Then we have who else?
Michelangelo.
Galileo Galilei.
Very good. Galileo Galilei. He was an astronomer, a physicist.
An astrophysicist.
Yeah. He was very good with his foundations to modern physics and astronomy. So a lot of things you learn in physics, for those who do physics, you would hear Galileo a lot. So he is
a telescope.
Excuse me, Mr. Batik.
Uh-huh.
Is one of them Marco Polo?
Marco Polo? Nah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Marco Polo. Honestly, I don't know.
And the guy you get hit
That's
on
my
his head.
social studies.
Wait, what about Shakespeare? Would he be one of them?
Marco Polo.
Okay. I'm not sure about Marco Polo.
Marco Polo.
Would Shakespeare be one of them or no?
Say it again?
Would Shakespeare be one of them or no?
No, I think Shakespeare was...
Leo.
No, Shakespeare was after. After them. So we have...
What about the guy who got hit on the head with an apple?
So we have, who else? Raphael, that was a painter.
Picasso.
Astronomer, like I said, physicist.
Mr. Petty, you have Nicholas?
And physicist and mathematician.
Mr. Petit, I sent you my work.
I know about alumni.
Excuse me, Mr. Batik. Can we use the making of the bombs in this class?
Yeah, you can. You could use the Making of Bombs book. That's a good resource. Where's Sean? Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Petit.
Go ahead.
Hello. With me.
Say it again. Say it again. I can't.
I don't have my notebook with me, so I'll just
Mr. Petit.
started the notes.
Okay, no problem.
Mr. Petit.
Yes, go ahead, Karen, then.
Leonardo da Vinci also painted The Last Supper.
Yeah, so let me just show you all the stuff that he did. So I'm going to just show you all the
Mr. Petty, can we take a quick screenshot of the last page?
yeah, wait,
Mr.
I'm
Mr.
coming back to that.
Petit.
I'm back to it.
Mr. Petit, would Gutenberg be one?
Yes, Johannes Gutenberg. All right, so I just want to show you all the works of these people. So this is Leonardo da Vinci. Spelled his name wrong. So these are the things that he did, the contribution that he did, especially this painting and the Last Supper. Iconic paintings. These are like so famous.
The one of Jesus.
You have to remember what they try now
And
is
then
say that
Like Mr. Petit.
I don't like
his
statue of
just
David.
make it look like a woman.
yeah, and then we have this painting, Michelangelo. He had these different paintings. Mind you, these paintings were actually, I wish I could, you see this is where his paintings
And he
is.
had,
Like
and he had the
imagine,
statue of David.
yeah, imagine these paintings.
Mr. Petit, don't zoom in on things too much.
Yeah, I know, we're not gonna zoom in on it. But these are the paintings that they had. And then you have the famous statue, David statue. Yeah, we don't want to do too much of that, but you get the picture. They were.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit. Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Uh-huh.
How was the painting of the Last Supper not more popular than the Mona Lisa?
I'm not sure. We're not getting into
Because
debate.
that's Jesus and that's a girl who doesn't even look that good.
Anton, what I tell you about those remarks? Come on.
It wasn't for looks, like it was the most detailed.
I
like
guess
painting
maybe
in that time.
maybe for like aesthetics and stuff. But you gotta remember, this is a we're looking back. We're looking back at what they have done. But you understand, after Great Suppression, and then you are able now to have these inventions starting. Even the invention of the printing press happened at this time too. And the printing press, you know why that was important, because now you're able to like print out books. And the first book that was printed, anyone know from the printing press? Anyone know?
It was the Bible, I think.
Yeah, it was the Bible. That was the first book that was printed. Oh, it's 8:31. All right, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. Again, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp.
Mr. Petit, you know the person who got the first copy of the Bible?
Say it again.
The person who got the first copy of the Bible.
I don't know. All right, so take a picture of this and send it to me via WhatsApp, because we have to move on to to religion. All right.
Mr. Petit,
Go ahead.
would you rather live in the Renaissance or in the 21st century?
Oh, easily 21st century, without question.
Mr. Petit. I was trying to tell you,
Yeah.
don't forget Nicholas Kaepernick.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's actually my
Say it again. That's actually
my middle name.
Oh, that's your middle name. Okay. I did not know that. I wouldn't even guess. All right, take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. We have to move on to religious studies. Sean, you have a picture of this? So I know you came late.
I'd take a picture now.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Mm-hmm.
Would Sir Isaac Newton be a Renaissance man, or would he be before that or after
No,
that?
so Isaac was after. He's after.
Okay.
After. We talking about early. We talking about 14th century, 16th centuries. It's a long time ago. Albert Einstein, all those men, they are after the Renaissance. But people like the Galileos of the world, they laid the foundation, right?
Good. Beethoven can be.
So the one who, so Johannes, the main ones you need to know would be Johannes Gutenberg Galileo Galileo, the father of modern science, Nicholas Copernicus, and then you have Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. And then Christopher Columbus would kind of be a part of that too, because he was like a famous explorer. But yeah. Okay, let's move on.
You said Nicholas Copernicus? I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah,
But
him.
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Uh-huh.
Is
He
it
was
me or
he was a astronomer and physicist and scientist. Go ahead.
I realized that almost all famous people have a weird name.
You're right. Even Elon Musk. Right. All right, let's go.
You have
Have
a
it.
weird first and last name.
He does. Okay. But he would be the Renaissance man of our time, to be honest. With Tesla and SpaceX and Twitter and well, now X. So yep. A lot of inventions.
I didn't know you invented Twitter.
No, he bought it.
He bought it.
Ah.
And so I thought he invented it.
No, he bought it and changed the name. All right. Now we go on to we should be on religious studies now, right? So let's go on that. The last thing we did was the birth of Jesus. Now we're going to be looking at Jesus is presented in the temple. All right, so let's go on.
Mr. Petit, this the one when they
Good
find
idea.
Jesus inside the temple after he ran away?
No, not this one. It's when he's presented, like dedication. Anyone ever been to like a baby dedication before? No one.
Yes, sir. I've been to one.
Yes, sir.
What's a baby
You mean a baby shower?
No, a
I've been
baby.
to many.
A baby dedication. You know, like when all the families dress up in the same colors and
Christening.
Christening?
christening. Oh, y'all just call it christening. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's true. People call it christening.
Oh, I was lost for a second.
Yeah, baby
Oh,
dedication.
we doing the presentation of Jesus?
Yeah,
Oh, I just learned this in school.
that's good. So Jesus presented in the temple. Now, that's we doing religious studies. So how many persons have went to christenings before? Like maybe if I say it that way, y'all would know.
Me?
I've been to my christening.
Well, of course you've been to your christening. I mean, someone else in your family.
I've been to my little brother. What's a christening?
Like when the baby is dedicated, they pray over the baby. And
You mean when they baptize the baby, or?
no, not that. Like
Yeah,
when they,
I don't know what that is.
no, when they present the baby, all the families come dressed in the same color. The Godfather, the
like
Oh,
pink.
oh,
yeah,
I never did that
I've never
before.
been to
And they take pictures.
and they take pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's when the baby is in all white.
yeah, when the baby's in all
And
white. That's
food.
correct. We didn't talk about no food. We're talking about christening. But you're right, they do have food.
Food is there.
Why food is the only thing you remember?
Won't they clean them?
I agree.
And
the food is big good.
That's you. That's you.
All right. Okay, good. So the topic is Jesus is presented in the temple. So Jesus, just like he came to earth, he lived the life of a regular Jew. So he went through all the rituals and rites that all the Jewish boys had to go through, which means that he was circumcised and he was presented in the temple. He was named by the hand of a religious priest. Yeah,
Excuse me, Petit. I have a question.
go
It
ahead.
says temple, not the in the.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Is this like when they hold Jesus, like them come like when Jesus get lost or something like that, and then they hold him?
Oh,
Like
not that
come
one.
and tell us, mommy, come. Oh,
Not that one. That's when he
But
was.
you dumb boy.
Oh, give me one moment. Let me deal with this person. Oh. And then they run away. Or we could get them. Sometimes that happens. All right, so scripture reference is going to be Luke chapter 2, verses 21 to 40. All right. All right, so let's move on. So some vocabulary words are going to be vocabulary words. We have Nick or Nuck Dematus. That was Simeon's song of praise.
You mean the Nunc Dimittis?
Yeah. Dimittis, a Simeon song of praise. Simeon song of praise. And then you have purification. Purification is, that means to what? To make what?
Clean.
Clean.
To make clean. And we have prophetess. Who's a prophetess?
A female prophet.
A female prophet. A female that tells what God will do in the future. And you have widow. A woman who is what?
Who's lost their husband?
Yeah, who husband has died. Tavana, where's Tavana? Tavana, are you there? Tavana, you're very low. You're always low. Can you speak into the mic?
I speak into the mic.
You're still very low. It's like, hi. Can y'all hear her?
No, sir. Yeah, single leg.
Not that much.
Not that much. Tavana, can you speak again?
Can you hear me now?
No, you're still very low.
You could hardly hear her.
Yeah.
She said, "Can you hear now?"
I faintly, but we can't really hear you, Tavana.
Excuse me, sweetie.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes that usually happens to me when I have headphones in and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, Tavana, do you have headphones on? Maybe if you have headphones on, that might be the reason. That's true. Justin, where's Justin?
Yes, sir.
Justin, who was a widow?
Person, a female that husband has died.
Very good. Sean, who was a prophetess?
A prophetess is a female that tells what God will do in the future.
Very good. Antoine, what do we mean by purification?
To make clean.
To make clean. Elcardo, where's Elcardo?
Present. She reveals that they are going to the best workshop in all of
Elcardo.
Yes, sir.
What is Nunc Dimittis? What is that?
Pardon?
What is Nunc Dimittis? This one, what is that?
Nunc Dimittis?
Yeah, what is that?
A song?
A Simeon song of praise. Are you writing this down?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sorry.
How come I don't see your notes?
I just have to write them down on a piece of paper and then my baby brothers go playing with them, so sometimes I lost them.
And then you what? You lost them?
Yes, sir.
But you can't be lost in your work. You
Yes,
need to
sir.
you need to take a picture of it and send it to me via WhatsApp.
Not to address her. Yes, sir. Their relationship is not that.
Jemiah, where's Jemiah?
Yes, sir.
What do we mean by a widow?
A widow is a woman whose husband has died.
Very good. All right, so how old was Jesus when his parents came to circumcise and name him?
8 years old.
8 years.
8.
So when Jesus was 8 years old?
Yes, sir.
No, when Jesus was
8 months. 8 months.
8 months?
8 days old.
8 days old.
8. Oh, 8 days.
Yeah. His parents circumcised him. Everyone knows what circumcised mean, right? Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And named
Cut off the foreskin.
Micaiah,
No, I wasn't going to say it. I just was saying.
I said don't say it. When Jesus was 8 days old, his parents circumcised and named him. When he was 40 days old, 40 days old, his parents took him to the temple took him to Jerusalem. That's when he was presented. To be presented. Who was there when he came to be presented? Who was there?
The widow.
Simeon and Anna.
So when he was there, there were two main people. Well, you know the priest is a person too, but
The prophet.
yeah, you had Anna and you had Simeon.
Simeon and Anna.
Now, the Jesus presentation in temple, Christians today call that what? What do we call that?
Christian.
Church.
Call this the christening. So that's when you christening or baby dedication. Or baby dedication. That's what they-
Excuse me, Petit.
Uh-huh.
Sorry to interrupt, right? But you said when Jesus was 8 days old, he was named and circumcised.
Yes.
So before those 8 days, what would they call him?
I mean, officially named, like write it in a book and stuff. Okay. But we already know what his name was because the angel Gabriel already said it, right? So, his parents already knew it. Mary also took part in, also went to the temple. Why would Mary go to the temple?
Because there was a baby Christian.
This was baby Christian. More than that, she had to do something.
Take baby Jesus.
No, she had to do something else. No, she
She
had
had to pray.
Census.
Someone said it.
Present the baby.
Not to present the baby. That's a part of
She
it.
had to do the
To make
census.
herself
The
clean.
census.
No, not the census. Someone said it.
The census is responsible for.
To clean herself. To take part in the purification ceremony. Why would she have to clean herself?
Because when you have like a baby
Yeah.
or
Back in those days, when you have a baby,
Have
boy,
to
it was
go through
considered
a ceremony
unclean.
to cleanse yourself.
One at a time. Go ahead. Emil was speaking. Go ahead. Whoever Emil was.
That was me.
Go ahead. Say why she needed to purify herself.
So when a male child is born, you have to wait 40 days. You have to wait 40 days to be purified again.
So after giving birth, she was considered what?
Unclean.
Pretty
Yeah.
unclean.
She's considered to be ceremonially or ritually unclean, right? What does that mean?
You gonna get clean?
That means that you cannot attend any religious ceremony. So this means that she could not take part in any religious activities until she cleaned herself or took part in the purification ceremony, until she took part in the purification ceremony, which for boys, it would be 40 days, right? And for girls, it would be what?
80 days.
80 days. So Mary took 2 turtle doves or pigeons to offer as a sacrifice. Why she took these little turtle doves to offer a sacrifice? Why she couldn't take like a bigger animal or something like that? Right?
Because she was poor.
Because she was what?
Poor.
Because she
Poor.
was poor.
Religious.
No, she was poor. She just couldn't afford it. Now, in the temple, they met 2 important people. So in the temple, they met a very old prophet named Simeon. And Simeon, there's a promise made to Simeon that what? Who blessed Jesus? What promise was made to Simeon?
That he would not tell you to see the Messiah.
That he would not die until he see the Messiah.
Very good. So the Holy Spirit had promised him that he would not see death until he sees the Messiah, right?
Excuse me, Mr. Petit.
Uh-huh.
Is it true that you can't see God face like until you die? Like the Bible say, like no man live to see God face, but can you like?
So when it comes to Simeon, he was specifically promised that he would see the Messiah. Remember, Jesus was God in flesh, so he was specifically promised that he would see the Messiah. And when he saw Jesus, he knew that Jesus is Messiah. Even though people around did not know that Jesus was the Messiah, he knew that Jesus was Messiah because he was in connection with the Holy Spirit. And so that's why it's important to be connected with the Holy Spirit, because he knew that that baby, even before Jesus grew into a man and did any miracles, he knew that Jesus was the Messiah. And indeed, Jesus was. Now, after seeing Jesus, he felt that he was ready. He felt that he could see that. Because he saw Jesus. Indeed, he saw Jesus as
Miss Petit, I ask you a question.
uh-huh.
Why did they make like sacrifices?
Why did they make sacrifices?
That's what.
Because without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sin. So if you sin, that means that you break God's law. In order for you to get forgiveness, then blood have to be shed, because there's a penalty for breaking the law. Now, you don't want your blood to be shed, so you have to shed the blood of an innocent lamb or animal. Yes.
Can I add to that?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so the Bible says the wages of sin is death.
Yes.
Meaning back then, because Adam and Eve had sinned, in order for us to go to God through prayer or whatever, we would have to make a sacrifice. But after Jesus died, Jesus was the ransom sacrifice, and no one after that would have had to use a blood sacrifice. So Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice. So we now don't have to bring a turtle dove or a goat or anything like that to church in order to pray or to connect to God. So Jesus is now the ransom sacrifice, and he's the reason why we're able to pray, and our prayer would definitely reach God.
Yeah, he is the lamb. So like the Bible, like John said in John 1:29, behold the Lamb of God that take away the sin of the world. So he is the lamb. So just like how you had those animals dying and their blood was shed to pay for the sins, his blood shed once for all. And anyone who believes by faith, they can be forgiven. And so that's how it works. So indeed, he saw the Messiah Jesus, and he felt that he was ready to die. Another person who they saw was an 84-year-old widow. Another person who Mary and Joseph encountered at the temple was Anna. She was a widow and prophetess. When you say that she was a widow, what does that mean?
Her husband died.
Yeah, and she was 84 years old. 84 years old, right? Anna was very devoted to God and spent most of her time in the temple, worshiping and praying God, worshiping and praying to God. Now, when she saw Jesus, as young as Jesus was, as small as Jesus was, he wasn't even a man yet. When she saw Jesus, she prophesied about how Jerusalem would be saved from their sins. So basically what happened in this story, so we have Jesus being dedicated. He just come to do a simple dedication, but because he was the Messiah, God was with him. And the people of God recognized Jesus, even though he was as young as he was, they recognized that he was the Messiah. They recognized that he had a very big mission to fulfill. One of those persons was who? The man, the male, what's his name?
Simeon.
Simeon, very good, Simeon. And Simeon, the Holy Spirit had promised Simeon that what was going to happen before he died?
He would see the Messiah before he died.
Yes, he would see the Messiah before he died. And that certainly happened. How old was Anna? How old was Anna?
84.
84.
84.
84. And she was a widow, which means that what?
Her husband had
Her
died.
husband died.
Husband had died. What did Mary and Joseph take to offer as a sacrifice?
Two doves. Two doves.
Two turtle. Wait.
2 turtle doves or pigeons. This is a good question. The question says, Lord, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace, according to thy word. Who was the speaker and why did he make this statement?
Mary.
Nope.
Actually, why did he?
Simeon was a speaker.
Simeon, after when he saw Jesus.
Lord, lettest thou thy servant depart in peace, according to thy word. Who was the speaker and why did they make the statement?
Simon is the
Simeon
speaker, and he
Simeon
felt
was
that
the
he
speaker and he
needed to
said that
go
because
to
he met
Because
the
he
Messiah.
saw the Messiah.
Yes. Simeon was a speaker and he said that because he felt that he could die after he saw who?
The Messiah.
the Messiah.
Jesus.
Jesus. No, now, Lord, you have kept your promise, and you may let your servant go in peace. Who is the speaker and why did he make the statement?
The angel said that because he was trying to say he could let him die.
It's still
It couldn't
Simeon.
be a child. It has to
Simeon
be a
was
human.
because he already had met the Messiah.
It's still Simeon. All right, explain why Mary and Joseph went to Jerusalem.
They went to Jerusalem to represent Jesus in the temple.
To present Jesus.
They went to Jerusalem to get him circumcised.
He was already circumcised at that point.
They went to Jerusalem to have him christened.
Exactly, to present him, to dedicate him. How old was Jesus when his parents took him to Jerusalem at this time?
40
40 days old.
40 days.
40 days.
Years old.
No, not 12.
No, for 40.
How old was Jesus when his parents
48.
took? How old was Jesus when his parents took him to Jerusalem at this time?
40
days.
40. Jesus was 40 years old when his parents.
40
40
years?
48 days.
Yes.
Sorry.
40 years?
No.
40, someone saying 48. Why are you saying 48?
Because the 8 days. What? No, that's 40.
Exactly.
40 days.
40 days. Who was a prophet? Who is a prophetess?
A prophetess is
A person who is clean.
A prophetess.
A female that tells,
is a female that tells
what
God
will
to do in the future.
Yes. Number 5. God always rewards people for their faith in him. Do you agree or disagree? Give
Agree.
reasons to support your answer.
Agree.
I agree.
Agree?
He never let
Ultimate gift.
Agree?
Never let you down.
All right. Who in the story shows that God always reward people for their faith in them?
Simon.
Simeon.
Simeon, very good. Simeon, good. Okay, where is Alexander? Alexander, are you writing this down? Alexander?
Let's believe I'm finished.
Where's Alexander? Alexander? Hello, Alexander, are you there? Where's Alexander? I can't hear from Alexander. Where's Alexander? Can't hear from Alexander. Thomasina, are you writing this down? Are you finished?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, and Kalia Forbes, are you finished writing this down? Kalia Forbes. Can't hear from you. Crimson Clark, are you finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Nala Knowles, are you finished?
Yes, sir.
That's good. How about Isaiah Brown? Are you finished with this?
Yes, sir.
Jamar Flowers, are you finished with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the rest of you, are you done with this? Are you all still writing?
I'm
finished.
I need you to take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp. How about Sean? Sean,
Yes, sir.
My work.
Sean, you finished with this writing this? Sean, you finished
Yes,
writing this
sir.
down? Do you understand what the story is about?
Yes, sir.
How old was Anna? And what was she? Like, what was her occupation?
Anna was 84 years old and she was a widow.
She was a widow, but what did she do in the what was she? She was a Steward P.
She was voted to God and spent most of her years time in the temple worshiping and praising God.
That's good, but Steward P, she used to do something. Steward P, she was a what?
She used to pray.
Prophesied.
She was a prophetess.
Prophetess, yeah.
If you're ready, finished with your work, send it to me via WhatsApp and you can leave. Have a wonderful evening and the rest of the weekend.
Peace and much,
Good
Mr.
night.
Pratik.
Good night,
Yeah.
Mr. Pratik.
See you
Good night,
next
Mr. Pratik.
week.
Take care. Take care. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Next
night.
week, by God's grace.
Good night, Mr.
Likewise.
Petit.
Take care. See you next week is correct. Remember, we have class on Monday. Remember, take a picture of your work. Good night. Yes. Good night. I'm gonna take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp.
Good night.
All right. Take a picture of your work and send it to me via WhatsApp.
Good night, Mr. Petit.
Good night.
Mr. Petit,
Yes, Rudy.
on Sunday,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Good night,
See you on.
Mr.
Yeah. See you on Sunday.
You too. Good night, Mr. Petit.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Petit.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Petit. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
This is Olivia.
Yes.
So tell me how to take
Yes.
this off.
Yes. You have what you want? You want
Oh, my cell phone.
oh. Okay, go on go on go on the quiz.
Yes.
You can see the 3 dots.
Quiz.
You see 3 dots on the top right. On the top right, you can see just see 3 dots.
Yeah.
Okay, you see it, click on that, go on settings,
Yes.
and then should go on privacy and security,
Yes.
and then go on what do you see now? Tell me what you see.
The third party cookies. Click on that.
Yeah, click on that. Yeah.
What are you supposed to have now? Or block the third party?
Block the third part. That's the third option, right?
Yes.
Good.